So I just thought I would do a vlog, and this came about on a question from another YouTuber called Kelly from The Indigo Traveller. Kelly's another campsite warden. She works on a campsite and does a lot of gardening work and things like that. If you've never seen Kelly's channel or you're not subscribed to it, go and have a look down there below. I'll leave a link to her YouTube channel. Kelly's great. Go and give Kelly a little sub down there. She's absolutely wonderful. And so this conversation came about by me commenting on one of her videos, and she sent a question back to me, and it was, what do I miss about living in a caravan? So in the last year, it was the best part of 10 and a half, 11 months I actually spent in my caravan. So I didn't do all of December and the early January, but I was away from January, and I sort of came away back in November, and I was down in Somerset. Anyway, it was basically the best part of 11 months I spent living in my caravan. So what I've tried to do here, I'm going to do 5 reasons why I like living in my caravan and what I miss about it, but also 5 reasons why it's nice to be back in my house in a brick and mortar building. So I'll try and alternate these and see if it makes any sense. And as ever, love to read your comments. If you've got any comments that you want to make on this to why you would like to live in a caravan, comment below. Or if you wouldn't want to live in a caravan, whatever you do, comment below as well. So yeah, I do like to read any comments. So the best thing about being in a caravan, it's compact. It's all one space. Everything is three footsteps away. So you can be, or in my situation, in my caravan, I can be in my cooking area within 3 steps. I can be in my toilet within 3 steps. I can be lying on my bed within 3 steps. I can be on my dinette table within 3 steps. Everything is within 3 steps. Really, really compact in the caravan, which is sort of quite nice. Especially because most of the time I'm on my own. Sandra obviously does come and join me, but when you're living in a combined space as a couple, things may be a little bit different. But on my own, generally speaking, it's the whole compactness of it. And Rasha, my dog, she loves the caravan. She absolutely adores sleeping up on the bed. And one of the other great things with the caravan, and especially the pitch that I've currently been on, which is a seasonal pitch that's fenced, in summer I was able to leave the back door open all night, and Rasha could just come and go as she pleased. So on them really hot nights, she just spent her evenings lying in the garden under a tree, under the starry skies above. So what do I like living about being at home in bricks and mortar? You know what? The best thing is a bath. I absolutely, one indulgence in life is I have a bath every single night, or virtually every single night. And boy, I miss not having a bath when I'm camping or when I'm living in a caravan and working away. And if I don't have a bath, having a shower, my own personal shower. So in my caravan, we have a shower, but it's only I think it's 10-litre hot tank. So you're on a 3-minute squaddy shower, as they call them. And the shower we've got here at home is a super duper power shower with jets coming off it and things like that. So my own personal space with the bath and shower. God, I absolutely love that. And when I'm living in a caravan, if I go and use the communal shower, no problem with that. They're spotlessly clean. But sometimes when it's a bit chilly outside, or it's a wintry evening or whatever, it's like, oh God, do I have to? And it can be a bit of a bother if you want to do that. So that's that one. Number 2, why do I love living in my caravan when I'm living in the caravan? The location. So I'm blessed with being a campsite warden in that I'm able to stay in different parts of the country that I probably would not have stayed in before. So it's absolutely amazing to go to an area that you didn't know anything about. So for the last year and going into next year, as you know, I've been in Lincolnshire, and I knew nothing about the area. place called Mumby. Never even heard of the place. So that's absolutely been fantastic. Living in that caravan is invariably they're in a scenic location, out in the countryside, away from the city life and things like that. And often there's some beautiful walks that you can find nearby as well. So I absolutely rock living in a caravan because of the location of the campsites, caravan sites, motorhome sites. Number 2, why do I like living in my bricks and mortar house? What's great about this? Well, I'm going to go against what I've just said there. Is where I live, I am a 20-minute walk into a place called Altrincham, a town. So I've got a proper town that's within a walking distance. And I've got, from there, I've got a public transport system called the Metro, a tram system. So I can jump on a Metro and be into the centre of Manchester or other locations. So city life, town life is nice. But saying that, traffic lights, potholes, congestion, sitting in traffic, yeah, I can go a little bit against living back here where I am at the moment in bricks and mortar. But it is nice sometimes to be able to go into a city close by if you want to do a big shop or whatever. So that's number 2. Why I like living in the bricks and mortar is my location. And coming in at number 3 to why I like living in a caravan. What's good about living in a caravan? So the caravan that I've got, it's a continental caravan, so it's a bit topsy-turvy. It's all backwards, the wrong way round. And unlike a UK caravan where you've got windows at the front of the caravan, sort of in a horseshoe shape, right? It's like living in a goldfish bowl where all the caravans are everybody just sits in those windows because of the style of the British caravans. Mine's a little bit different. So I love sitting on my table, on my dinette chair. So I've got like a little bench seat with a table in front of me where I sit on the computer and I watch everything. But right next to me, on my left shoulder, I've got a window that I can see out, and right behind me I've got a window that I can see out, and I absolutely love just watching outside. The site that I'm on now, I've got a bird table, and other sites I've had bird feeders, and it's just really, really nice to literally be a couple of inches away from your garden, your outside space, your green space, and watching the wildlife and the birds and things that go by. So number 3 about living in the bricks and mortar house. Why do I like being here? Did I mention the toilet, by the way? I've got a flushing toilet I don't need to empty. Sorry, I should have put that in with the hot bath and shower and toilet, shouldn't I? Didn't mention that, but yeah. Oh God, a toilet. You don't need to empty the toilet or think, will it last another day? Won't it last another day? So a flushing toilet is way up there. Definitely up there. But I also, fortunately where I live, most of my family, my immediate family, my children, are all fairly local. So when I'm away, I miss not being able to see my family or my children. And obviously you'll know that I've got a grandson now. And being separated for several months when he was born, several months in a young person's life is a long time. So I love being here in my bricks and mortar house just because of the location that I've got, where my family are basically. And the whole, going against what I said before, the whole space in the house. So I've got places, I've got wardrobes where I've got lots of clothes and things like that. Spare bedrooms, attic space. Those of you watching my video will know I've got attic space to store things. In a caravan, you've got very, very limited storage space. Number 4, living in a caravan. What do I love living in a caravan? You know what? I wouldn't have said this a few years ago because I wasn't living in a caravan. I was only holidaying in a caravan. But living in a caravan for several months of the year and longer, I love my job for the most part, apart from a campsite that started on at the beginning of this year in January. Haven holidays, forget that. But generally speaking, the campsites that I've worked on, being a warden is amazing. And the fantastic thing, I don't have a commute to go to work. I get up in the morning, put the kettle on, have a cup of coffee, take Rasher out for her walk, have a second cup of coffee, I step outside, no commute, no expensive petrol, no stress, traffic lights, potholes, congestion. I love my warden work, and maintaining a campsite to a high standard makes me proud and really, really happy. So, you know, sitting on a sit-on lawnmower and getting the grass looking pretty and getting the whole site looking pretty for when people are going to come and stay with you. That element of living in my caravan, I absolutely love. But that's only because my job currently is a campsite warden. Living in a house. Yeah, I've sort of touched on sort of space, but I've also got my own garden, front and rear. So we don't live in a big house, it's not posh or anything like that, but we've got a lovely front garden that's not been tarmacked, it's not been flagged, there's no car parking spaces on it, and being able to do things in the garden and watch things grow. So just as an example, you may have seen on previous videos, I've been replacing a front fence panel in my front garden with privet hedging. This started 3 years ago, and I've just planted the final length of privet, and in another 2 years time, to be able to watch that mature and see what I planted, to bring in the wildlife, to bring in the sparrows and the birds that'll be in that hedge, is wonderful. We've got other things we've planted. We've got a cherry tree in the front garden. We've got a beautiful holly tree that we're having to prune down now. It started off, it was only waist high, and it's now, 20 foot or so. And being able to do things like that. And likewise in the back garden, you know, Sandra, it's her domain now. I used to do a lot of the gardening, but obviously I'm not here anymore. But I used to do grow a lot of vegetables. But having that space, that's my space or our space, is fantastic. Number 5, living in a caravan. What do I love about living in a caravan? And again, this is down to my work, as well as living in the van, is not having that commute. And because I've not got that commute, my petrol costs are down, the mileage on my car is decreasing. I tend to just go out in the car on my days off, so I'll go and do a shop, and then on another day off, all being well, I'll go and visit a touristy location nearby to go and explore. But I don't tend to use the car for at least 5 days of the week, so I'm saving money, and I am not getting stressed out by driving. I love driving. I love driving. I can drive for hours and hours and hours. But when you're doing a drive in a busy town area, city area, just congestion, and for some reason, I've got no reason why, traffic lights that aren't synchronised, and you spend probably a third of my life back home sat at red traffic lights going nowhere because the local authority people are muppets. I know I used to be a councillor, and I'd say to traffic officers, you've got that traffic light wrong. No, we haven't. We've got a computer model and we know what we're talking about, Mr. Taylor. No, they get it all wrong. The locations that I tend to work at tend to be more rural, so the congestion and traffic problems and the traffic issues don't tend to be a major headache. Maybe in those 8-week summer holidays, yeah, maybe they can get busy. So this year I was in, as you know, in a place called Mumby between Mablethorpe and Skegness. So the 8-week holiday, certainly getting into Skegness, unless you knew your way around the outside, yeah, it was busy, but doable, all doable. Here at home, it can be quicker for me to travel 10 miles into a place called Stockport, as an example, which can take me 20 minutes, than to go a mile 1 mile, which will take me half an hour because of congestion. So love that, living in a caravan, and that the whole coziness of being in a caravan as well. I don't know, you either get that or you don't get it. And finally, living in my house. What do I absolutely love living in my house that I haven't got on my caravan? And that's everything under one roof. So I don't have to worry about, is anybody using the washing machine? We've got our own washing machine, and I don't have to carry bags of laundry over a campsite to a washing machine. That's amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. I've got a dishwasher here at home as well. I do hand wash pots, but a couple of times a week we fill up the dishwasher and put that on, and that's absolutely fantastic. Just being able to get your tea done, get your plate, knives and forks in the dishwasher, and then every few days put that on, rather than having to put everything into a washing up bowl on a campsite and either taking it to a pot washing area, or because we've got a dishwasher at the nurseries where I'm working, I do sometimes use that. But that washing up is just super, and having that washing machine, fantastic. And I've also got a dryer. I've seriously very rarely use a dryer, but we have got a dryer here as well. But in my house we have a log burner, and I love my log burner. I just, the whole coziness and warmth of that log burner when it's glowing on a freezing cold night. So the moment we're on a real frosty cold snap, and it's like -4, -5 outside, and in our house it's so warm, the log burner, and just putting your washing on a maiden near the log fire, the moisture just pulls out, and that's absolutely amazing. Right, that's just a bit of a random waffle on 5 reasons for living in a caravan, or why I enjoy living in a caravan. 5 reasons why I love being back at home and living in my house. Give me your reasons, if you're a caravanner, why you would like to maybe live in a caravan, or why you like to holiday in a caravan. Come on below. You can do that. And if you're not a caravanner or a tent or a camper, why not? What's putting you off? What's terrifying you? Is it being in a tent and spiders coming and getting you, and worms under your ground sheet? Tell me. Come on, tell me. Confess. Why don't you want to go camping or caravanning? Or tell me why you love living in a house, and why on earth you think people like me are just completely bonkers. What is wonderful about living in a house? What couldn't you give up? Go on, comment below. Right, I'm going to stop this here. I'm going to love you, and I'm going to leave you, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to see you and you, all of you, on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Remember, give the video a thumbs up. That'd be wonderful.